Tourist attractions in Vienna, from the Nischmarkt to Amalienbad to the Hofburg, these are currently Vienna's top attractions. What a fantastic city it is! Due to the strength of its renown and aura, Vienna, once known as the capital of the world, resonates with the soul long before you even set foot there. Many aspects of the Austrian city, including the glitzy state opera, the fascinating museums, the best coffee shops, and everything else, may already be familiar to you. Everyone should travel to Vienna at least once in their lifetime. It can be challenging to decide which attractions in Vienna are the greatest with such a diverse list. St. Stephen's Cathedral. Since its construction in the 12th century, St. Stephen's Cathedral has served as the fixed point around which Vienna revolves. You'll receive some pretty spectacular vistas if you make it all the way up the 343 steps. The Baroque interior of the cathedral is packed with artifacts, including holy texts and jewel-encrusted relics, as well as the tombs of notable Viennese figures like Emperor Friedrich III and Prince Eugene of Savoy. Don't forget to visit the catacombs. The Sigmund Freud Museum, the father of psychoanalysis, whose contributions would alter the course of history and influence psychology practices for decades to come, is the subject of this meticulously arranged museum. This before the Nazis forcibly expelled her from England in 1938. The museum provides an insightful window into Jewish life in Vienna during the 20th century. In addition to providing unique insights into how Freud developed his theories, the exhibits are understandable and engaging, and the gift shop is fantastic as well. How about a pair of Freudian slippers? The Hofburg Palace. The Habsburgs, who ruled a powerful empire more than a century ago, lived in this old palace in the heart of Vienna until 1918. It is still one of the most impressive structures of its kind. You could easily get lost here for a few days because it resembles a huge, decorated cake. If you only have time to visit one Vienna attraction, make it this one. Paintings by artists like Klimt and Dürer, the Spanish riding school, home to the dancing Lipizzaner horses, a butterfly house, and the Austrian Film Museum are all located inside the palace complex. Central Cemetery. The Central Friedhof, or Central Cemetery, is only a short tram ride from the city's core and resembles a well-kept park rather than a cemetery. It is well worth visiting for a respectful stroll because it is the final resting place of many famous Viennese people. The likes of Strauss, Beethoven, Brahms, and Schubert can be honored. Maps and audio guides are available to help you find your way around. The Jewish Quarter is also worthwhile to visit because it was vandalized by Nazi sympathizers after Austria was invaded and has been preserved in its original condition as a reminder of the atrocities of fascism. Amalienbad. The 10th district has an unbelievable magnificent indoor pool. The 1920s Euro Amalienbad's architecture was influenced by Roman baths, and its interior artfully combines Art Nouveau and Art Deco styles. The tiling in the women's sauna is especially striking. This isn't your typical recreation area. You can treat yourself to a leisurely swim and a full spa experience for a few euros. Watch the schedule for the late-night pool parties, which include top-notch DJs and light shows. The Nischmarkt. Vienna's famous open-air market, which extends in a long line between Karlsplatz and Kettenbrückengasse, is a foodie's heaven. Everything is available here, from traditional Austrian fare like white wine, cheese, and pickles to filled olives, exotic fruits, and spices. This is the place to sample the many different cuisines that make up the city's gastronomic heritage. Spend a morning strolling around, filling up on treats to take home, and don't be hesitant to try samples that vendors are offering. Take a break to enjoy some hot falafel or antipasto. Dimmel. Since 1786, Dimmel, one of Vienna's original salons, has been serving confectionery marvels. If you have a sweet tooth, you'll need to be pulled away from this place because there are lavish ring cakes, cream slices, the richest hot chocolate, and an abundance of strudels. For the entire experience, it's worth staying for a meal, but if you're in a hurry, order a slice of Sacca to go. This decadent chocolate cake is created nearby in the Hotel Sacca and the subject of a bitter rivalry with Dimmel. Look through the displays of exquisitely packaged chocolates, then make your way to the back of the store to observe the skilled confectioners creating marzipan fruits. Vienna Riesenrad. The enormous Ferris wheel in Vienna is clearly visible from kilometers away, as a gloriously garish fin-de-siècle icon that stands 200 feet above the Prater Park. It was constructed in 1897 to commemorate Emperor Franz Joseph's 50 years in power. The sunset over the roofs and into the Danube from one of the cabins is about as romantic as it gets. If you're on a mini break with someone special, you can even book one to yourselves. Supersense. The most stylish one-stop design shop in the city. Housed in an Art Nouveau townhouse, Supersense calls itself the home of analog delicacies. Expect to find everything from a working letterpress to hand-cut vinyl, a scent lab and a recording studio. It's halfway between a museum and a design boutique, so you can learn about wet plate ambrotypes while running off some postcards in the printing press, or test driving a beautiful typewriter. There's even a cafe selling fabulous coffee and pastries to check out afterwards. The Jewish Museum. In 1895, Vienna welcomed the opening of the first museum in the world devoted to Jewish history, culture, and religious activities. After being closed and pillaged by the Nazis, it was extensively renovated in 2011, then reopened on Dorotheagasse in its present configuration. Nazi authority reduced Vienna's Jewish population to nothing. 130,000 people left the nation and more than 65,000 were transported to death camps, of whom just 2,000 survived. Amazingly, the collections are stuffed with items that have been lovingly passed down the centuries, from copies of underground resistance newspapers to family photos. Zuckerwerkstatt. This is where you would have discovered Willy Wonka if he had been a native of Vienna. The Sugar Workshop, or Zuckerwerkstatt, creates sweets that are delicately created. Children will go absolutely crazy if you are traveling with them, but adults will find it to be just as magical. Yes, it's the ideal gift shop. However, you can also observe the confectioners at work in the demonstration kitchen. Waters candy canes, lollipops, and jellies are made with natural flavoring, pure Austrian sugar, and plant extracts for color. Additionally, you can purchase custom candies by calling in advance. Vienna Ring Tram. Snow boots and tea-time torte are as much a part of everyday life in Vienna as trundling trams. Hop aboard the yellow ones to see some of the city's most recognizable landmarks as they travel a full 25-minute circuit of the Ringstrasse Avenue. It's the simplest and least expensive method to explore the sights and get oriented. Join the bus at the Schwungplatz, don one of the specialized headsets, and experience an audio tour of the route, which passes by the University of Vienna, the Imperial Palace, the museums, and the Vienna State